These are the plaintiffs, Barbara Blank and Gregory Olaski. Barbara says she took her dog to obedience class, and another dog in the class belonging to the defendant attacked. The defendant's dog bit her dog, started shaking him violently back and forth, and she needed 2 surgeries. For some reason, the defendant refuses to pay their medical bills, and they're taking them to court today, seeking reimbursement of the $2,764.53 they're owed. This is the defendant, Kim Norton. She says her dog Buddy is an awesome dog, not vicious in the least. It was the plaintiff's dog who snapped at Buddy. She's a responsible dog owner. She didn't see any biting or blood on either dog after the minor scuffle, and certainly doesn't owe all that money. She's accused of losing control.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiffs took their dog to obedience class, and their dog got attacked by the defendant's dog like a rag doll. The defendant says her dog, Buddy, is a sweetheart. It's the case of, hey, Buddy.
Thank you, Douglas. Barbara Blank and Gregory Olaski, you are suing Kim Norton for damages that her dog, according to you, did to your dog. What is your dog's name? Shadow. That's Shadow?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty dog. What kind of dog is that?
He's part Pomeranian and part Sheltie.
Okay. What happened?
Well, we were at dog training class, and the first time at the class, my husband came with me, and there was only 2 dogs in the class, my dog and Kim's dog. And that first day, my husband and Shadow went up to their dog to make friends, and their dog growled at Shadow. So my husband gave me Shadow back and then went back again, and the dog growled at him. But the day of the incident, which was on June 12th, just me and Shadow went. And Shadow and I stayed over to our side because Shadow was afraid of Kim's dog.
Your dog's name is?
Buddy.
Buddy. All right. And how many dogs were in that class? Just the 2 of you?
Just the 2.
Okay. So go on.
But her dog is a big dog, and I don't know one kind of dog from another, but I found out later.
It's a Rottweiler, right?
He's a mix, yes.
A Rottweiler and a what?
A pointer.
And a pit bull.
What do you mean, and a pit bull? Is there any pit bull in it?
No, he's not.
Okay. Either way, go ahead.
Okay. So we're at class, and the dog trainer decided that we were going to go out in the parking lot to do our class because we were going to do loose leash training. So she asked me to go out first, which I did, and I'm waiting out in the parking lot with Shadow next to me on a leash, and then Kim and her daughter came out with Buddy.
Is this your daughter?
Yes.
Can you stand up?
And all of a sudden, their dog jerked away from them, and I believe her daughter fell or scraped her toe, and her dog came and grabbed the side of my dog.
Wait, did the leash come out of her hands?
I believe it did, yes, because she fell and scraped her toe.
Okay.
And it grabbed my dog.
How far did the dog travel before grabbing your dog?
He was well, not even from here to you.
Okay, and do you believe that at that point she wasn't holding on to a leash?
No, she was, but the dog tugged so hard that I think he took the leash away from her.
You mean he took the control away from her, or literally got out of her hands? Which do you mean, or you don't know?
Oh, it got out of her hands because when it was biting my dog, she wasn't holding on to the leash.
That's what I was trying to figure out. Okay, so what did her dog do?
Her dog went and grabbed the side of my dog on the side of him and just shook him. And I was like stunned because he's standing right next to me. And I didn't know what to do. I tried to pull Shadow away with the leash, and the trainer told me to just let go of the leash and the dogs would calm. So I let go of the leash and the dog stopped, and then she got my dog and Kim got her dog. And then the dog warden told me to go inside to diffuse the situation. So I went inside, and that's when I noticed that Shadow had blood. I mean, he's got so much fur, you didn't see it at first, but he had 2 spots of blood.
Okay. Were you both present when this happened?
Yes.
Let me hear from each of you. Let me hear from you first.
I was the second one that came out. Ashley had.
Okay, so let me hear from
Buddy
Ashley first then.
Yeah, I went out with Buddy. I had hold of the leash. She was behind. We went out. We actually walked out with the trainer. Barbara and Shadow were already in the parking lot ahead of us. And we were walking out with Jenny, and Buddy is very strong on the leash. That's why we were there. When we got to the edge of the ramp, I was just switching the leash, and I feel like because it went loose a little bit, he took that as.
When you say switching the leash, what do you mean?
I had the leash in my, I had the end around my wrist, and then I had it tight here, and because he was pulling, this hand was tired, I switched it to my right hand.
Switching it to your other hand.
Yep, so I went like this, and literally it was, he
And then
went
the dog pulled
to go.
So you kind of lost control of the dog, because the idea is that owners are all supposed to be in control of their dogs. Of course, that is why you were there, in order to try to be able to get control of the dog.
Yes.
But, so your dog then did what? Grabbed the dog? Her dog?
No, he went over to, I feel like to sniff, I mean,
Except for that then his fangs got right into the dog, because there's puncture wounds in the dog.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
I
don't know about the sniffing thing, you know, I mean.
Well, I think Shadow was certainly afraid that he was coming near and just reacted to Buddy coming near him.
How did Shadow react? Jumping into the dog's bite?
Oh, no, he turned around and snapped at my dog.
Okay, what do you mean by snapped?
He took his mouth and snapped it.
Are you saying that Shadow bit Shadow?
He never,
bit
no.
Buddy?
There was, as soon as Shadow went for his face, Buddy went back and...
You're dissecting this in a way that is undissectable.
So, if the dog owner is holding the leash, but the dog gets away, is that a violation of the leash law, so that dog owner is going to be responsible?
I don't think so, because the dog was on a leash in the first place. He can't control the dog.
That's true, but it wasn't at the time of the attack. What do you say?
You got to have control of your dog. You can't let go of the leash, of course.
You think so?
Yeah, you can't let go of the leash. It's like the dog not being on a leash.
But the dog wasn't a leash.
But the owner has to have control.
But the owner's holding the leash. The dog just gets away.
He's not holding the leash anymore. He dropped the leash.
He didn't drop the leash. The dog pulled the leash away from him.
No.
Going inside the courtroom.
The dog had to have 2 surgeries over this.
Yes.
It was a very deep puncture wound.
Yes.
And there are now $2,764.53 in damages. At the time of the event, my understanding is that you were very apologetic. Because I've seen the affidavit from the dog trainer who says it happened just like apparently everybody says it happens exactly the same way, with the exception of your... It was self-defense kind of thing that you're trying to say now. Why would you not be... They're dogs. Animals act like animals. I don't care if that dog went and antagonized Buddy. That does not make it their fault. The whole point is that they're animals, and they act like animals. It's the humans we expect to be in control.
Absolutely.
This is a challenge. And I know you're trying to get under control because you're in the classes. But in the meantime, you also still have to have the dog under control. And if you've let the dog grow to how many pounds?
Oh, he's 115.
Yeah, 115 pounds. It's like kind of late to jump on the control bandwagon, because you should have been doing this a lot earlier, and you have the responsibility to let your hand hurt over letting somebody else get hurt. And that's kind of what happened, that you lost control of the dog. So tell me, why wouldn't you be responsible for the bills? Tell me what your theory is.
Her dog went for my dog first.
Her dog was in total control. Your dog went to where her dog was
Just
standing.
because my dog is big and her dog is small does not mean that my dog is
No, and if your dog was a pit bull and her dog was Chihuahua, that wouldn't mean anything either.
I just don't feel that we're responsible.
What means something to me is when your dog gets out of your control and drags you to where another dog is just standing and existing. What do you expect that dog to do other than go to Buddy? Of course it's going to do that. And that does not change the dynamics that that human lost control over the dog.
No,
you know what I'm saying? I'm letting you off the hook. I want to hear from your mom a little bit.
No, I mean, you're absolutely right. And I did tell her that, to take the dog to the vet to have him, looked at. Absolutely.
Right. And then when the dog got looked at and the vet said you need surgery and gave the dog surgery, and then the dog had to have another surgery to drain after that, when did all of a sudden have the vet look at it become, no, that's all I authorize. Just have the vet look. Don't have the vet do anything, just look.
I mean, the dog went at my dog first, and he was reacting to it.
I have one question for you folks. Did your dog drag you to where her dog was standing?
Yes, he did, absolutely.
Did their dog move at all towards where your dog was standing? Or did your dog come to where their dog was standing?
Absolutely, our dog did.
Come on, man. I mean, you knew it that day. You took full financial responsibility, according to the trainer. It's just what? Now it's too expensive, so now they have to be stuck with it? That's the part that bothers me. We shouldn't be here. You should have felt bad enough, okay, that there was a payment plan worked out or something. We shouldn't be here. It shouldn't magically become, you know what, we're going to claim self-defense. You get stuck with it. That's just wrong. It's morally wrong. It's legally wrong. It's wrong to make them go through all this when you know that you're clearly wrong. Verdict for the plaintiff in the amount of the $2,764.53.
Well, certainly no doubt about the outcome of this case. The defendant was wrong and the defendant lost. What do you think about the judge saying that? You were just wrong.
I think that it should have been 50-50. I really do.
Why?
Because
Why?
their dog went at our dog's
No,
face.
you lost control of your dog.
You're absolutely right. We did.
And you admitted it.
We did.
And
absolutely.
you suggested they go to a vet.
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't you pay?
I'm a responsible dog owner, and I would clearly pay, you know.
You lost. Sorry about that.
That's
Thank you
okay.
very much.
Yeah, no, thank
Keep
you.
better control of your pup next time, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, here comes the plaintiff now. The plaintiffs. A whole team of people coming. Who else is here with you?
My daughter and my son-in-law.
Were they part of it? Or
No.
they just moral support?
Moral support.
Okay, good. How's Shadow doing?
Oh, he's doing better. He's first starting to grow in, and I mean, you could really see still where the scar
Very good.
was,
Okay,
but
well, I'm glad he's well.
Yeah.
You know, the last time I interviewed somebody with a dog in the car, I got bitten.
no,
I did, yeah.
He
So
may kiss
be
you.
a good boy.
That's about a while.
Congratulations and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Remember that one, Harvey? I'm sure you do.
Okay, Doug, I got to show you guys this. This happened a long, long time ago to Doug, also in the hallway.
I respect Judge Wapner's opinion on it. I would also like to say that I didn't do it for the. I did.
Ooh, goodness.
And Doug lived to tell about it. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.